Hey ladies, how are you? Danielle Cotis here. I am so very excited to be doing this training with you today. Today it is 4 keys to mastering your first year of motherhood. I'm so excited to be sharing these secrets with you today to transform your life. So for those of you who are just jumping on, keep in mind you do not have to look at the screen. The slides are here just so you can follow along. But if you have your baby with you and you're worried about the time frame, please just put it on speaker so that you can listen to it loud and clear, or put your headphones in and you can go about your business and still learn about what we're going through without actually looking at the slides. But I do suggest that you please listen all the way to the end. These keys are going to transform your life. It's going to take you from where you are right now to where you got to go. These are all the secrets that I was missing with my transition into motherhood, and it would have absolutely changed my life if I had knew them ahead of time, and it would have helped me to stop spinning in circles. So I'm going to go over my chaotic story real quick of how I transitioned into motherhood and who this is for, and then I'm going to go into the training part. So please stay with me. So this training is both for new moms and for moms who are expecting for the first time. This masterclass is for you. It will apply to both scenarios. You can obviously use all this information, whether you are expecting, to help you prepare for motherhood, to help you deal with what you're going through right now, or if you are a new mom, to help you deal with what's happening in your life right now. So if you are pregnant right now and you're feeling nervous and scared about the future, you're worried about your labor, your delivery, breastfeeding, bonding, you're feeling like chaos, like totally unprepared, totally feel like you're uneducated in all things motherhood, and you're looking for some guidance and support, this is for you. And if you're a new mom and you are totally exhausted, overwhelmed, and scattered since having your first baby, you're feeling irritable, frustrated, confused, maybe angry and resentful. Maybe you're feeling unsupported or underappreciated, or you feel like you're just doing it all and you just want a second to just breathe, relax. This is for you if you feel like you're losing your identity, or you're struggling with postpartum depression or anxiety, or you have these extended baby blues, or you're just completely burnt out and overloaded. Then this masterclass is for you, and you're going to receive all this information to help you rid you of these problems right now. So what you'll get from me today is that if you want to let go of this guilt that you have, if you want to gain more energy and have more time for yourself and ditch the anxiety and depression, then today I have just the right information for you. So what we'll cover today is the exact fundamental steps that I teach my clients to master their first year of motherhood and feel empowered with the knowledge and support to make a successful transition into their new role as mom. Why connecting and caring for yourself is what keeps you sane and is actually going to care for you and your family and your relationships. And exactly how you can get the support and the guidance that you want and need, and why it's actually necessary for your transition into motherhood and just motherhood in general. How you can feel more calm, confident, relaxed, and in control of your emotions so that you can gain more clarity, you have more control. You can increase that bonding and connection with yourself and your baby. And we're going to talk about how your mindset affects the outcome of your pregnancy, labor, delivery, your whole postpartum journey, and how you can change your mindset to create the life that you want. And I'm going to go over how to fit all of this into your life, feel more prepared and confident in your new role without feeling this guilt or feeling burnt out and overwhelmed. So my promise to you today is that I'm going to give you my 4-step framework to mastering your first year of motherhood. These 4 keys are going to change your life. They're going to help alter your outlook. They're going to help you prepare for what's to come, help you to understand what's going on in your journey right now, and how you can go from where you are right now, which probably isn't such a great place, to where you want to go, is really enjoying that motherhood experience and really feeling totally in love with yourself as a mom and in love with your life as a mom. So there's nothing for sale today on this webinar. However, if you stay all the way to the end, I have a wonderful free gift for you. So before we begin starting this class and we jump into the training part, I just want to tell you a little bit about me. So I'm Danielle Cotis, and I am a new mom coach. I coach new moms how to let go of the guilt, gain more energy, and ditch that anxiety and depression to the curb. I really specialize in working with moms who have postpartum depression and anxiety and helping them to heal naturally. My mission is to give moms all the education and care that they need to thrive during this huge life change. My mission is to give them as much mental, physical, and spiritual support to help them prepare for what's to come and to help them cope with what's going on in their life right now. I believe that with the right type of guidance, new mothers can develop their own wisdom, transition smoother, transform their lives, and ultimately thrive in their new role. I'm a law of attraction specialist. I'm a mindset expert, a personal trainer, group exercise instructor, a mindful mother advocator. I am a mom entrepreneur. I am a writer. I am a wife to a wonderful husband and an awesome 3-year-old little boy. Right now, as we speak, I am in the best state of mind that I have ever been. Probably in my entire life. I have reached a level of happiness and confidence in myself that I didn't even know existed. I am truly more calm, present, and understanding in my day-to-day life, and I'm able to handle all these crazy, stressful situations with ease and understanding. I'm completely able to decipher at least 99% of my son's needs, especially when he experiences those swell of emotions, those crazy temper tantrums. I'm definitely less reactive and more proactive in my interactions with my son and my husband, and my life has changed in miraculous ways. The bond with my son is stronger than ever. We truly connect on this soulful level, and the relationship with my husband has flourished in ways I didn't even know could. I feel more supported, more understood than I've ever felt in my entire life. I have mastered a wonderful work-life balance where I can take care of my son, be at home, but still pursue my hopes and dreams. I have more time for myself, more time for my friends, and more time for my family. I have truly manifested the life of my dreams as a new mom, and I couldn't be more happier or proud of myself for doing this. But to be honest, it wasn't always this way. So although this picture looks absolutely serene and beautiful, it is not a clear depiction of how my pregnancy went. I hated my pregnancy. I honestly, I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the way I felt. I feared everything about the future. I worried about whether I was going to be able to breastfeed, whether I was going to be able to bond, if my relationship with my husband would change, if I could go back to work, if I should stay home. I panicked about would I ever get my body back. I mean, there was so much weighing on my mind that I had these severe bouts of anxiety and panic attacks through the whole thing, and just crying and just feeling like already I wasn't a good enough mother, that I wasn't going to be able to take care of my kids, that I wasn't going to be able to give him everything, that I wasn't going to be still able to enjoy my life. I was miserable. I hated being pregnant, and I was so fearful about the future. And the ironic thing is, every single thing that I feared actually came true. When I became a mom, there were absolutely two main problems, and these are probably the same exact problems that you have right now, is that I didn't know the first thing about being a mom. Like, I didn't even have held an infant before. I never was around kids. Like, to be honest, I really don't even think I really liked kids. I didn't know what it was like to raise a baby or have a baby. Like, I was just never around them. And I didn't take any parenting classes, I didn't read any books, and I was completely and utterly clueless. Everyone told me it was going to be so magical, and it comes naturally, so I didn't do anything I was supposed to. And number two, I didn't know how to cope with all the different stressors that I was under. I felt like there were just so many things happening at one time that, I didn't have time to... for myself, I didn't have time to clean. I didn't have time to breastfeed. I was terrible at breastfeeding. There were just so many things that were going on, and that I just didn't know how to deal with any of them. It was too much of a change, too much responsibility. So to make a really long story short, after my pregnancy, because I had these two main problems, all of this stuff started happening to me. So my labor and delivery didn't go as planned. I had to end up supplementing my son after the first 3 days, which completely devastated me. I thought that I would breastfeed forever, and I sucked at breastfeeding, and it went horribly, and I had to give him formula by day 3, and I collapsed in the doctor's office and just bawled my eyes out. I had failed at the first thing as being a mom. Right off the bat, within 3 days, I had failed in my mind of being a mom. I barely slept. I think there were times where I didn't sleep for like 72 hours. 48 hours. I was completely losing my mind. I was like hallucinating. I had these intrusive thoughts. There was just so much that was coming up about how much I hated my life. I didn't like it. It was so much responsibility. I went from this carefree life where I could eat, sleep, pee, and go anywhere I wanted, and then all of a sudden being this slave to this tiny Nazi type human being, and not just its slave, but its sole responsibility for its survival. And I honestly, I couldn't handle the pressure. I was just like totally losing my mind. My whole life was a disaster. Clearly you could see by here my apartment was a disaster. But this was a depiction of like what was inside of my brain, how much stress I was under, how much I couldn't handle the pressure, and how many times I cried, and how many panic attacks I had, and the idea that, I had no friends, nobody was there to support me, my family didn't come when they were supposed to, like I expected them to do, my friends didn't show up the way I thought they were going to. I hated my husband for going back to work and eating with two hands. I couldn't stand the fact that I was home all day with this baby and I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just failing over and over again. And I had all of this rage and all of this anger and all of this sadness, and I missed my old life, and I feared everything about the future, and I just felt like I was the only person that was experiencing these horrible emotions, these crazy intrusive thoughts, this immense guilt about not being a good enough mom, and I really just wanted to feel like myself again. So I had what the experts would describe as postpartum depression and anxiety, and what I would like to describe as the rude awakening of motherhood, or not being prepared for motherhood. I was completely losing my sense of self, my identity, my sanity, and this was all happening more so than other moms, or so I thought. And as you can see in this picture, I had this rage where I was screaming at my baby, and I was screaming at myself and my husband, and I was punching pillows and freaking out. And I really realized that something was very wrong. There was a real problem that I was having. And this picture right here shows me at a time where I was at my worst. So what the world was seeing was not a correct depiction of what was actually happening inside. I was breaking down emotionally, physically, mentally. I was breaking down. It was honestly the worst experience of my life, and people thought I was crazy. They thought that something was wrong with me, and I was afraid to tell people. I was afraid to tell people how I felt. I was afraid that they were going to judge me or take my son away or tell me that I was an unfit mom or something was wrong with me. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm getting so emotional. There was just so much going on with the lack of sleep, failing at everything, that I just couldn't handle it anymore. And it ruined me. It ruined me. And there was one day when I had gotten to the point where I shook my son and I tapped his bottom, I'd say a little bit harder, and I realized that there was something wrong, with me, and that it needed to change. I needed to get out of this hole. I needed to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I knew that I could change. I knew that I could be this happy mom. I just didn't know how. There was just so much going on. So I'm hoping that part of this story resonates with you. As I'm talking about what I went through and my anxiety and my depression. And so what I ended up doing is finding out everything I possibly could about motherhood. I spent a journey of trying to figure out why this was happening to me, how I could fix this, what was going on. And what I did was, through trial and error and months of research, I healed myself. I healed myself of postpartum depression and anxiety, and I want you to heal too. But not only if you're suffering from postpartum depression, I want you to heal as a new mom. I want you to have this framework. So if you're struggling with these crazy emotions, and it may not be postpartum depression and anxiety, it just may be that you're just so overwhelmed and you're so stressed out and so sleep deprived. And what I want you to realize is that you're missing these 4 parts, these 4 keys that I'm handing you today that can make your life and your transition smoother, easier, more successful, where you can feel more in control of your life, more in control of what's going on. And that you can get rid of this guilt and this anxiety and depression and confusion. But you're missing these 4 keys the same way I was missing them. You're missing what could propel you into the best life that you can possibly live, that can make your life move a little bit faster, where you can see the magic happen a little bit sooner. If you don't have this, it's not going to work for you. So why am I hosting this masterclass? I'm hosting it because I suffered tremendously, along with thousands of other moms, millions of other moms, my clients, my friends. I suffered tremendously. I struggled with this postpartum depression and anxiety, and I don't want any other mother to ever experience this again. I don't want moms to struggle, especially new moms or pregnant moms. I don't want you to have this overwhelming emotions and crazy feelings and crazy thoughts. I don't want you to do this. So what I did for you, and what I do for all my clients, is I have done months and months of research, like I said, trial and error, getting expert advice, and I want to share what's going to work for you. These 4 little tips and tricks are going to change your life. I have created it to be easy for you, and it is 100% the foundation of any new mom's transition into motherhood. After you apply this framework that I'm handing you today, you are going to have more energy. You are going to feel more confident, and you're going to have less of that mom brain. You're going to gain more emotional stability, which is going to enhance your feelings of happiness, joy, love, peace. You're going to feel more supported by your spouse, family, and friends. You're going to make more time for yourself and understand how important this time is to your well-being. And you're going to do all of this without feeling guilty, overwhelmed, or unsupported. You're going to have a strong connection to yourself, unbreakable bond with your baby. You're going to feel so confident in your new role as mom that you're going to be able to handle any challenge that comes your way. You will love the way you feel. You're going to love your new outlook on motherhood. I absolutely promise you. My results, my healing from postpartum depression and anxiety, my transition, my successful transition, the way I feel right now, how I have this life of my own, how I still have time for my friends, myself, my family, how I can work and be at home and take care of my son, how I can do all of this, it's totally possible for you. It is possible for you to embrace motherhood in the best way possible. You can let go of the guilt, you can gain more energy, and you can kick that anxiety and depression to the curb. You just have to follow this 4-part framework. If you want this wonderful life, if you want to feel more prepared, more confident, supported, develop your own wisdom, transition smoother, and ultimately thrive in your new role, then you need these 4 keys. Without further ado, let's delve in. So the secret number 1 is connection. So the number 1 reason that you are feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, burnt out, depressed, anxious, sleep deprived, lost in your identity, looking towards your old life, looking towards your new life, is because you have lost a connection to yourself. In this picture, you can clearly see that this woman is struggling. So if you're right now and you're pregnant and you're struggling and you feel this, as you look at this picture, you can feel what she's going through. Please realize that you are not alone in what's happening. Many new moms don't feel any connection to their self or to their baby while they're pregnant or even after birth. It can be hard to connect with someone that you can't see, especially if you're having trouble emotionally. And it can be even harder to connect to yourself because your mood is affecting your connection to yourself. Your thoughts are all stemming from all over the place, and you can't really get a hold on your baby. So new moms, realize that 20% of new moms and dads feel no real attachment to their newborn. So it has to be even a higher percentage for the parents that feel no connection to themselves. They don't understand what they're going through. They are so lost in their thoughts, so lost in their emotions. These statistics are so high, okay, because nobody educated you on how important connecting to yourself and to your baby is during this really huge life change. Nobody told you that this was really a foundational part to your transition. You need to understand why you're going through these things, why this is happening, how to control this, how to hear yourself. Okay, so don't worry if you're really struggling with this connection to yourself and you understand what I'm saying, how you're having trouble understanding yourself and now you're having trouble connecting to your baby and to others. It can be easily fixed. Okay, all you have to do is listen to these 4 parts, okay? Listen to what's coming next, and you'll be able to connect to yourself, and you'll be able to anchor those emotions. So really, the reason we've lost connection to ourselves during this huge life change is because we tell ourselves that it's okay that we're overwhelmed. We're just going to keep going, Okay, we also tell ourselves that that the reason we're feeling this way is because our hormones are all out of balance, and it will regulate and it will feel better. Now, hormones are a part of it, but your thoughts, your feelings, not accepting who you are, what's happening to you, is not the right way. But this is what we tell ourselves, that it's only hormones, it's nothing else. We also say that self-care, having time for ourselves, is not something new moms have time for. And another thing that we say to ourselves is that all moms are excited to have a baby, or should be excited to have a baby. And that these new moms always love their lives and they love their new role as moms. So this is why we've lost connection, because we tell ourselves lies. And the trouble of telling ourselves these lies and actually believing them is because it causes us to deny how we feel and repress our feelings, right? So we take those feelings that we have and we just push them down. And what happens is we lose this emotional awareness and emotional intelligence that we are born with, this innate kind of like inner wisdom. We're denying it, we're pushing it down, and then we also create these unrealistic expectations for ourselves, that we should bounce back immediately, that we should feel good immediately, that we should love our lives, that we should enjoy being a mom right away. And all of this stuff makes it difficult for us to connect to ourselves. And if we can't have a connection to ourselves, it's even harder to have a connection with your baby. And another thing is that you lose this trust and confidence in yourself. So where we have this, where they call it motherhood instinct, or just instinct in general, we lose trust that we can be a mom, that we can handle this, that we can figure it out. We lose trust in our initial instincts because we have so much going on from this outside circumstances. And believing this way causes us to be overwhelmed and stressed out. And we really have trouble bonding and breastfeeding and just enjoying motherhood. So how can you build this connection to yourself and to your baby? And why is this important? When you honor what you're feeling and experiencing during motherhood, you'll better understand yourself and your emotions. You will have more self-compassion, more self-awareness, and self-confidence. And what this will do will help your baby to feel loved and secure and connected, and it will help their brain develop in a healthy way. It will actually cause your baby to be smarter, more resilient, independent, and have high self-esteem. So just connecting with yourself and having that self-awareness and compassion is actually going to help your baby to develop more healthy. But if you don't connect to yourself and you keep losing this connection, you stay where you are, in a couple months from now, in a year from now, okay, you're going to feel lonely, anxious, depressed, distressed, and scared if you're not already feeling this way. And your ability to love somebody else unconditionally and to be intimate with others is going to be difficult for you. So really what you should be telling yourself right now is that you need to have this healthy connection to yourself right this second, whether you're expecting right now or you're in your postpartum journey. You need to have a healthy connection to yourself. Understand your emotions so that you can have a healthy connection to your baby. Understand that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be overwhelmed, scared, and confused. You are a new mom. Like, what did you expect was going to happen? It's okay to notice and name and accept your thoughts and feelings for what they are. It's all right to say, I don't like this. This sucks. It's too hard. I'm so tired. I'm so anxious. I'm so fearful. I'm so worried. It's okay to do that. It's okay for you to take that time out for yourself. Take a little break. Understand what's going on. Get your nails done. Meditate. Whatever you need to do, it's okay to take that self-care time. And like I said before, it's okay not to love motherhood right away. It's a humongous life change. So now how can you use this first step to really create the calm and peace within that you're looking for? So the first thing you're going to do is connect to yourself. So you're going to learn how to have some self-compassion. So we're all at completely different stages in motherhood, okay? We feel and handle motherhood totally different. And I want you to stop holding yourself to these crazy expectations. Stop telling yourself that you need to be better. You need to be at this different stage. You need to lose the weight. You need to have your mindset right. You need to be breastfeeding for this long. You need to do this. Stop telling yourself that. I want you to think as if you were talking to a trusted friend about the situation that you're going from. So if you're dealing with a postpartum depression, anxiety, if you're overwhelmed, you're having breastfeeding problems, you're dealing with things like that, when you tell a trusted friend, they're going to tell you that, number one, everything's going to be okay. How can I support you? I'll be your shoulder to cry on. They might not offer you advice. They might just hold you. So think of yourself as that trusted friend. Think about as you are going through this, learn to love yourself. Learn to understand that where you are is okay right now, and you will get through this. Another thing you need to do is develop a self-awareness. It's the key to connection. So understanding how you feel right now, accepting that you feel this way. So if you don't think that you're a good enough mother, or you think you need support, or you think that you should stay home or go back to work, or you're fearful of not finding your hopes and dreams and whatnot, I need you to really sit with this horrible thought that you're having, these feelings that you're having, and sit with those thoughts. It's scientifically proven that if you sit with that thought and that fear and that uncomfortable feeling for about 90 to 120 seconds, and don't feed into it with more crazy thoughts, just focus on that feeling. So if it's fear, if it's anxiety, if it's depression, if it's resentment or anger, sit with that feeling. And within that 120 seconds, if you don't feed those thoughts into it, the emotion will lift and it will pass. And once that feeling passes, you can tell yourself that that thought you're having is just a thought. It is not you. And what you can do is replace that negative thought with something positive. And then you can take that something positive and do an action step that's positive to fix that situation that's causing that negative thought. So building this self-compassion and this self-awareness is going to help you build connection to yourself. Other things you can do is meditate. You can journal every day. Journaling was the best thing for me. Do yoga, learn breathing exercises, visualization techniques. You can do emotional freedom technique, energy psychology. There's so many ways that you can build a connection to yourself, and it's going to increase your self-confidence in just your ability of being a mom, being a person, helping you to understand where your emotions are coming from. Now, the second thing you want to do is connect to your baby. So once you build a connection to yourself, you want to build a connection to your baby. So if you're pregnant, great things that you can do in utero is you can do yoga, meditation, hypnobirthing, visualization. So you can actually sit with music on and touch your belly. So what this does while you're pregnant is help you build a connection to yourself and build a connection to your baby. Now, I know this was really weird for me. I didn't like singing. I didn't like doing any of that stuff. But this picture on the right with the girl with the headphones, like, I should have done that. I should have put on some music I liked, rubbed my belly, danced around, really felt connection to myself so I could feel that connection to my baby. There's also things like hypnobirthing that can prepare you for what your birth is going to be like. So there's so many things that you can do to connect to your baby. If you're in your postpartum journey, this is the most important thing that you can do for your baby. Give them eye contact, wear them, snuggle with them. There's so many ways that you can build a connection with your baby. You just have to do it. I know if you're really struggling and you don't feel like breastfeeding and you don't feel like holding them because your emotions are overwhelmed and you just want to put them down, I know that this can be difficult for you, but I promise it's scientifically proven. If you do these 3 things, you're going to release those happy endorphins in your brain. Okay, and those happy endorphins are actually going to feed into the baby. So there's these things called mirror neurons where the baby actually mirrors your facial expressions, your thoughts, things like that. And we'll go into this later. But it will actually pick up and feed off of you. So the best thing you can do is learn how to connect to your baby, learn how to connect to yourself, and then build a connection to the source, to universe, to God, whatever you want to call it. Many times we feel like the world is against us, especially as new moms. We feel like everything is going wrong. There's too much going on. And I truly felt like I was being punished, to be completely honest with you, that I had to struggle so much. And part of what I teach is that if you can build this connection to the universe and realize that, you are not alone, that the universe is 100% behind you. You just have to see it. You can actually create this wonderful world around you. So having all this connection, will help build up that excitement, that enjoyment of motherhood. So ways that you can connect to the universe or source or God, whatever you want to call it. So you could do meditation. 5 minutes a day will change your life. Gratitude journaling. Learn about the law of attraction. Watch the movie The Secret. That's the first thing I have my clients do. Ground to the earth. Take a walk with no shoes on. Realize that you are endlessly provided for, and building this mind, body, spirit connection like we just talked about, it's going to help you with your overall wellness. So it's important for you to build this connection, to feel calm, centered, and conscious of your thoughts and feelings. It's going to teach you to have better coping strategies, adaptability, flexibility. You're going to have a stronger, intimate, and loving relationship with other people. So that's your baby and your spouse and other people around you. You're going to feel safe and secure and supported because you love yourself. You have that connection. You understand yourself. It's going to increase your intuition, confidence, and trust in yourself as an individual and as a mother. If you don't connect to yourself, okay, in a week, in a month, in a year from now, how you feel right now is not going to change. You're going to feel this feeling of feeling empty, lost, confused, easily overwhelmed, and disconnected, okay? If you don't already have postpartum depression and anxiety, it will transform into that, and I don't want that for you. I want you to have this connection to yourself. And if that's not enough, just thinking that a year from now you can be in the same spot, realize that your baby's life depends on your connection to yourself and to it. You have to build a secure attachment with them because that's how baby brain develops. Okay, it starts in the womb. The only way they're going to have a healthy cognitive, social, and emotional development is going to be from that connection they have with you. Your connection to it is going to help them have healthy relationships, express their emotions better, feel happy, independent, resilient. Okay, they're going to feel loved, safe, and protected if you build a connection to yourself and to your baby. If you don't connect to your baby, both in and outside of the womb, okay? If you don't care about yourself and where you're going to be in a year, care about where your baby is going, how this is going to affect your baby. It's going to cause it to have premature birth, behavioral problems, mental problems, anxiety, depression, and develop unhealthy relationships moving forward. So your whole life and your baby's life depends on your connection to yourself. This is why this is the first step, because this is what I was missing. I was missing this connection. I didn't know that I needed to focus on me so that I could help my baby. If you can't focus and help heal yourself and understand where you're coming from, you're never going to get to where you want to go. You're never going to get to that outcome. So please don't skip this step. Secret number 2 is education. I put this as 2 because the real reason that you are struggling so much is because you did not receive the education that you deserve about motherhood. You are feeling anxious, depressed, scared, inadequate, unprepared is because nobody told you what you were about to experience. Nobody told you how you were going to feel. Nobody told you how hard breastfeeding was. Nobody told you that your relationship with your spouse was going to change, or that you weren't going to be able to go back to work, or that you were going to have these crazy emotional roller coasters of panic and depression and fear and anxiety. Nobody told you these things. That's why there's a statistic of 80% of new parents feel anxious and completely unprepared for the practical skills they need to look after their newborn baby. This is why the statistic for breastfeeding is so low, and the successful breastfeeding is so low, because people aren't receiving the education that they need. Why is this? It's because people tell you that motherhood comes natural. They tell you that women are equipped to mentally handle birth, that breastfeeding and bonding is just going to come natural. It's going to be easy. Parenting is going to be instinctual. You're just going to know exactly what to do and when to do it. And that motherhood is this magical experience and it's so beautiful and so wonderful. Well, again, these are all lies that we've been told, that we tell ourselves. And the problems with listening to these lies that we tell ourselves and people tell us is that it gives moms a false sense of reality, which can lead to you having self-deprecating thoughts and low self-esteem. So notice where this is coming from. People are telling you that everything is going to be this wonderful thing, when in reality, it's extremely difficult. It is a humongous life change. And you were not prepared for it because everyone told you didn't need education. So now this is why you feel guilty. This is why you can't perform a basic motherhood test. This is why you're struggling at breastfeeding. You don't know how to bond. This is why holding the baby is hard. Changing the baby is hard. Burping. This is why your relationship with your husband is difficult. This is why you can't find your identity, because nobody schooled you on what you were about to experience. This is why you feel like a bad mom. You don't have natural parenting skills, right? You're not reaching these social norms. This is what's happening. People are telling you that you should, have these natural parenting instincts, and you don't have them. So now you feel like a bad mother. Now, you took this advice just like I did, and I didn't take any of the classes, and I didn't immerse myself in knowledge and motherhood education, and my transition freaking sucked. Thousands of years ago, people could have said, or even up to 200 years ago, motherhood is instinctual, it is natural. But what the difference is that they were immersed in early childhood life 24/7. Everybody knew how to take care of kids. Everybody helped their siblings. All the neighborhoods helped. All the neighbors helped. Everybody raised everybody. Everyone knew how to be a mom. And if you didn't know how to be a mom, your aunt or the neighbor or somebody over there told you how to do this. Now in this day and age, nobody knows how to be a mother. No one knows, unless you had 3 or more siblings or you took care of your cousins or whatever. You would have never seen anybody go through this. You would not know how to do this. So really what people should be saying right now in this day and age is that motherhood doesn't come naturally to every woman. Everything in motherhood has to be taught, meaning breastfeeding, bonding skills, sleep training, eating, all these different things has to be taught. You don't come equipped with all motherhood knowledge. You don't know how to sleep train a baby if nobody told you how. It's just not in your brain. You don't know how to breastfeed if you've never seen somebody else breastfeed. You never put a baby to your breast. It's impossible to know how to do that without education. So people should be telling you it's necessary to educate yourself on all things motherhood. They should be telling you you might not like your role right away. It's a huge life change. And without education, you will struggle. So when you educate yourself, wherever you are in motherhood, whether you are pregnant right now or you are have a toddler or you're in your first year or 6 months, you have to educate yourself on what you are going through and what you might experience. It will help you be more prepared and empowered to tackle any situation that comes at hand. You have to look into what the labor is going to be, delivery, breastfeeding, bonding, parenting in general. You have to look into this stuff, and then it will come easier to you. If you educate yourself, you're going to have a plan of action and coping skills and knowledge to fall back on when the shit hits the fan. You're going to be more calm, confident, and self-assured and well prepared. If you do not educate yourself right now, right, on what you're going through or what's happening in a month from now, in a week from now, in a year from now, you're still going to be in the same spot. You're still going to be anxious, depressed, fatigued, overwhelmed, unprepared, and distressed. If you do not educate yourself on anything that you're going through right now, you're going to be stuck in the same exact spot. What I'm telling you is that you need to educate yourself. So the first thing you're going to do, the first action step you're going to take today, and you're going to fit this into your life, is that you're going to go to all the classes that you possibly can if you're pregnant. You have the time. Go to the breastfeeding classes, the parenting classes, Lamaze, hypnobirthing. Immerse yourself in everything that you're going to experience during labor and delivery. That's the easy part. The hard part is postpartum. So you need to be prepared for what's about to happen. So you need to prepare yourself for that. If you have a baby right now, you need to go to the workshops. I don't care what workshops you go to. Find what's not working, such as sleep training, feeding, mindful parenting. Go to support groups. You need the education from other moms. So the second thing I want you to do is read and listen to books and podcasts. Now, if you're pregnant, again, you have the effing time. You have the time. Read and listen to 1,000,000 books and podcasts. This is how I educated myself. I thought I didn't have the time, but just like you do right now, you're listening. You don't necessarily need to watch. You don't need to necessarily sit with a book. You can listen. And that was the best way I've received all my education, listening, absorbing everything. So if you're pregnant, mindful pregnancy, labor, delivery, breastfeeding, sleep training, whatnot, postpartum, listen to as many podcasts as you can. Think about what you're going through right now or what you're about to go through and look it up so that you can gain the information and insight that you're looking for. And the third thing is, you need some real life support. You need some either parenting courses, new mom courses, coaches. You need mentors, real life moms. The only way that you can get a quick education of years of experience or years of struggling is to hire somebody who knows what they're doing, who's been through what you're going through, so that they can get you to where you want to go easier and faster so that you don't waste your time. So the best thing that you can do to educate yourself is hire a mentor, a coach, or a therapist, somebody with personal support, knowledge, a plan, skills, tools, and resources to get you where you want to go faster so you're not spinning in circles like we talk about. Do the online courses, Udemy, YouTube, workshops, webinars. Talk to real life moms. You need a real life mom. You cannot sit inside your house all by yourself, feel all these horrible feelings, and expect something to change. It is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again without getting a different result. So you need some real life moms who can give you some support, who can give you the information that you need, give you the advice, work with you, help you figure out what's going on. I want you to gather as much information on motherhood as humanly possible. Knowledge is power. So what you're doing right now, listening to this, is going to change your life. It's going to give you the tools and resources to help you get through each situation. It's going to help you understand what you're going through, why you're experiencing this. I'm telling you why you're struggling. You had no connection to yourself, right? And now you're going to get it. You had no education, and now you're going to get it. So you're going to understand what's happening, why you've been experiencing this, and then you're going to get the tools and resources to fix it. So education is a no-brainer. It's going to help you manage your emotions. You don't have to struggle. Understand this. You don't have to struggle as other moms do if you have the education, if you are listening to the podcast, if you hired a coach, if you hire a mentor. You're not going to struggle. It's going to increase your self-esteem, your confidence, and belief in yourself. It's going to lower your risk of postnatal depression and prenatal depression. It's going to decrease those fears, worries, concerns, and anxiety about the known. It's going to empower you with the knowledge, problem-solving skills, coping mechanisms. It will empower you with hope for yourself and the future as a mom and prepare you for what is to come. Third step, I'm going to spend a little more time on this than the other two, so please bear with me. The reason that you are feeling guilty, anxious, overwhelmed, stressed out, burnt out is because you have this mindset that's so negative around yourself and around motherhood in general. So why are you having this mindset? Why are you feeling like nothing's going well, right? That you're thinking labor and delivery is going to be hard. You're not going to be able to breastfeed. You'll never sleep again. Your relationship with your spouse is going downhill. That you suck at being a mom. You feel like such a failure. Why can't you get it together? Why do you feel this terrible feelings? Why do you have these terrible thoughts? Why am I so bad? And you constantly keep going. Hello, you have a negative mindset. If you realize that you have these negative thoughts, you're worried, you're fearful, you're scared, you feel unsupported, you'll never make it through. You're losing yourself. You want your old life back. Now know your future's gonna suck. Everything's gonna be horrible. You're not gonna be a good mom. I'm never gonna get back in shape. Well, this is negative ways of thinking. This is how you're thinking. I'm sure you're saying, oh my God, this is what I think in my head. Why you have this negative mindset is because social media has put so much pressure on you to be a perfect mom. You look at these pictures on Facebook and you see all these happy kids and their happy moms and their clean house and they just had a newborn and everything is going well and they look beautiful. What you don't realize is that all these people are miserable. They are putting up a life that doesn't really exist. I mean, they're not that miserable, but most of them are. The ones that are portraying this wonderful, magical life are the ones that are suffering that much. But what you see is the magic. What you see is how you should look. Oh, your body should be back in 6 weeks. Oh, you should be working out tomorrow. Oh, you should be, going back to work within 3 months. Oh, you should be doing this. It's so much pressure on us to be this perfect mom, to do it all. We feel anxious or guilty because we can't live up to this social media standard, the society standard, and not to mention we live in this fear-based world, meaning you're damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So meaning that people cause you to have negative mindsets. You breastfeed too long, that's not good. You give formula, that's not good. You sleep train, you do cry it out, that's not good. You sleep train and you hold them, that's not good. So no matter what you do, you're freaking screwed. So you feel guilty and upset about every single thing that you do. And you feel like you failed. If you're not this perfect person, you've totally failed. So I want you to understand what's kind of happening here, and I will come back to the slide in a second. So really, if you stay in this mindset, what happens is it's really a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you think you're going to be a bad mom, you are going to be a bad mom. You think you're not going to be able to breastfeed, you won't be able to breastfeed. If you think you're going to have a C-section, you're going to have a C-section. If you think you're going to have an epidural, you're going to have one, etc. This negative mindset leads to more increased negativity feelings and more negative thoughts, and it's going to lead to pre and postnatal anxiety and depression. It's absolutely scientifically proven. You're going to feel overwhelmed, lonely, fear, worry. So the more you have these negative thoughts, these negative mindsets, and the more you're spinning and spinning and spinning, I wish you could see my hands right now, the more you're going to feel negative. And the worst part is that all of this affects your baby. So it's going to affect your baby's epigenetics, meaning that it's going to have this negative effect on your baby. And like I said about before with those, so if your baby's in utero, it's going to have a negative effect on their development. If it's out of your womb, these mirror neurons are going to, your baby's going to pick up on your negative thoughts, your anxiety and depression. What it's actually going to do is mirror it back to you. So I want you to realize that, I'm going to go back to this other slide, that, you know, what you do, so I'll give you an example. If you are struggling, and I want you to think about the days where your baby is extra cry, or has colic, or is freaking out, or is extra fussy. And notice that those days are the days where you are overwhelmed, stressed out, sleep deprived, you're angry, you're resentful, you're having an episode of anxiety attack, or you're having a depressive episode. You'll realize on those days are the days where your child is experiencing the colic, and you're thinking, why the heck, of course, of all these days you're experiencing this. So what's happening is that in this picture, I'm going to bring my cursor over here so you can see. So everything you are feeling and experiencing is happening here, okay? And your baby is actually hearing and feeling everything that you're seeing and doing. And then eventually when this baby grows up, it's going to be the same as you right now. Okay, I know that sounds kind of scary, but that's kind of what's happening. And this happened with your parents, so that's part of the reason why you're feeling this way. So everything that happened with your family is actually happening again, and so on and so forth, and that's something that we're just brushing the surface here. But again, they feel and experience everything in the womb and outside the womb that you think, say, or do. And it has a huge problem when it comes to if you're feeling this negative mindset, this anxiety, this depression. So really, again, we want to realize that this can cause all this negative thoughts, and this mindset is going to have some problems with you and your baby. So realize that you need a new way of looking at yourself, a new way of looking at your situation, a new way of seeing it, okay? I want you to realize that you are doing the best that you can. I want you to throw out everything anybody has ever said to you about where you should be in motherhood right now. You're doing the best that you can. You are the best baby that you're the best mom that your baby could ever ask for, okay? You want to see the end result. You want to realize that even if you're struggling with breastfeeding, you're going to get some help. Even if you feel overwhelmed and stressed out, you can get some help. You can deliver a baby with ease. You can do it without medication if you want to, or you can have a C-section if you want to. You are a good mom, despite what the world thinks of you. You are doing the best you can with what the cards that you were dealt with at this time. You are strong, okay? You can do this. So start thinking a new way about yourself. And the first way that you're going to do that is you're going to start realizing that your thoughts, just changing your thoughts, can change your life and your baby's, because remember, the babies hear and see and feel and think everything that you do. So whatever you're going through right now, your baby is experiencing it, whether it's in or outside the womb. So you now know you have to change how you view your situation in order for it to change. If you stay here in a year from now, you are going to be in the same damn spot and your baby is going to be affected. So know that if you don't change your thought, you're not going to change your life or your baby's. So realize that you have to accept that things, change is going to happen. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Become aware of your thoughts. Build that connection to yourself. Focus on your positive qualities, your positive circumstances. What are you doing right? What is going well? Focus on what you are doing, what you are winning at. Use affirmations, try auto-suggestion, work on those limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. And again, we're just touching the surface. So if you don't know what these are, look them up. You need to learn how to change these mindsets. And the easiest way to do that is to retrain your brain. So this is one of the things I specialize in. And you can use emotional freedom technique, hypnosis, subliminal messages, binaural beats, visualization, and meditation. And why we want to use these things, right here, to retrain our brain. Why do we want to do that? We want to do that because 95% of our day is run on our subconscious beliefs about ourselves and just our subconscious programming. And real quick, let me just touch the surface here. Your subconscious beliefs come from the ages of 0 and 7, and all those beliefs about yourself, whether you think you are unworthy, undeserving, not lovable, unsupported, you are fat, you are ugly, whatnot, come from all the people in your life from the ages of 0 to 7. And they literally downloaded their crappy negative beliefs onto you. So 95% of your life is run on these thoughts that other people gave you, and only 5% is run by your conscious brain, meaning that you're conscious of your actions. So when you got enough sleep, when you feel really good, when you're having a 5-star day, you can make conscious decisions. You can realize that the anxiety is coming up and how to fix it. You can realize how the depression is coming up and how you can fix it. But 95% of the time, when you're overwhelmed, stressed out, sleep deprived, the baby's screaming, you are going to run on that 95%, and you are going to react that way. That's why people go to shake their baby. That's why people hit their kids. That's why people yell. That's why people scream. That's why people react in the way their parents reacted. Because 95% of that brain is run on other people. And another reason we want to retrain our brain is because we can actually negatively affect ourselves and cause disease, as well as our child cells. So there was a study done where when you put negative thoughts towards a plant, towards water, in this case it's water, you are actually causing the cells of the water to change, the molecular structure of the water to change to negativity. And when you put positive thoughts towards something, you change it into something wonderful: growth, love, happiness. So that's what you want to do for yourself. Learn how to talk to yourself the right way. Retrain that subconscious brain so that you and your baby can have that wonderful life together. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, again, I'm just brushing the surface. I'm trying to give you the tools that you can use at home, where you can YouTube things. Look up this guy, Bruce Lipton. He can really help you. He wrote The Biology of Belief. It's just understanding that your thoughts really create your world. There's other things you can do, and I'll get back to that lime green car, but really use the law of attraction. The law of attraction is really what I call the law of noticing things. Like attracts like. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's just another name for it. So when we focus on what's good, what's good about ourselves and our circumstances, we attract or notice those things that are going well in our lives, and that help us to grow and to notice more things that we love. So really today I want you to focus on how powerful your brain is. I want you to see this lime green car that's right here. And I want you to set the intention that you are going to see a lime green car today. There's this book called E Squared by Pam Grout. And it says, what shows up in our lives is a direct reflection of our thoughts and feelings. So if you put the thought that you're going to see a lime green car today, you are going to see a lime green car. Okay, so just realize that this is so important that you realize that your brain is so much more powerful than you think. So there's so many other things you can do to retrain your brain. Again, we're just scratching the surface. But why do you want to retrain your brain? Why do you want to change your mindset? Because you are stronger, more powerful than you realize. It's a key to manifesting the life that you want. Absolutely. You have the power to change your circumstances. So you may feel really crappy. You may not like what's going on, but you have the power to change it. You can change it today. You can use these tools and start changing it today. You can improve your health, your coping, your stress management skills, your belief in yourself. It will decrease your chances of having anxiety or depression or other mental health. It's going to increase your self-esteem. You're going to love your life because you deserve to live the best life. And what you think about will expand. So keep this important, that everything has two ways. It's going to affect you and it's going to affect your baby, because you guys are now one. So being happy and empowered as a mom is going to teach your baby to be happy and empowered. If you have positive thoughts, your baby's going to have positive thoughts. As I'm talking about, think about how your parents, what type of mindset they were in your entire life, and have you adopted that mindset? If you don't like where you are, you don't like your mindset, you don't like your circumstances, it's from your parents. So realize that you can change it so that you can have a better life, so your baby can have a better life, so you can feel really good. If you don't change it, your baby is going to reap the negative effects of your unhappy life. So please realize that your mindset is so important. And to the last key here, okay, it's support. The reason that you're feeling so burnt out, so overwhelmed, so alone, so stressed out is because you're not receiving the support you need. 1 in 5 moms suffer with a perinatal mood disorder, meaning you're either anxious or depressed while you're pregnant or while you're in your postpartum journey. 60% of all parents are burnt out. Okay, these statistics are because there's so much lack of support. There's I think it's like 50% of new moms are not receiving the mental support that they need. So the reason we're not receiving this support is because we don't think we need it. We're afraid to get it. We think people are going to judge us and ridicule us for the thoughts and feelings that we're going through, for not being able to do it all. Moms have been raising kids by themselves all the time. What you don't realize is that all of these mothers are struggling, and we think that they're having this wonderful grand old time, but it's not true. They are struggling just as much as we are. We also think that talking to other people about our feelings, such as a therapist or going to see a social worker or hire a coach or mentor, means that you failed somehow, or that you're a crazy person, that you're feeling these thoughts and feelings. There's just so much going on that we don't believe we need support. And what I want you to realize is that part of the reason that you are struggling so much is because you haven't reached out for the right type of support. The support that's going to make you feel loved, safe, and understood. The support that's going to show you that it's safe to talk about how you feel, that you should be allowed to express what's happening in your life, that you have to realize that you don't have to do this alone. There's no reason that right now you need to be struggling all by yourself. There are people out here who want to help you. I want to help you. This is why I'm doing it. There's people that want to support you. You need to realize that gaining this support is going to change your life. It's going to reduce your stress level. Getting support can only help you. It's going to make your life easier and more enjoyable. You should get this support because it can increase your self-esteem, your overall well-being, your coping skills. You're going to feel more loved, joyful, calm. The social support is going to decrease your chances of anxiety, depression, overwhelm. So why would you not get support? If you are feeling this way, unsupported, unloved, unappreciated, if you stay here and you do not get a support in a week from now, in a month from now, yet next year from now, you're going to feel even worse than you feel right now. You're going to feel so lonely, so angry, and so resentful that you're not even going to be able to deal with it. So please don't skip this step. First thing you're going to do right now, put this into your life, is you're going to start recruiting help as early as you can. If you're pregnant, find out who the heck is going to help you. Set realistic expectations for your spouse, your family, and your friends. If you're in your postpartum journey, start speaking up. Not one person can read your mind. You need to be assertive. You need to figure out what you need help with and then ask for it. And let these people help. Step out of your ego. Let them help you. It's important that you're getting this support. The second thing that you're going to do right now, today, is you're going to join a support group. You're going to join some kind of mommy me. You're going to go to the darn library. You're going to find a daycare, a nanny, a babysitting co-op, mother's helper. Whatever it is, you're going to get some community support. So you need to recruit the support from family and friends, and then you're going to get that community support. There's so much there. Attend these support groups often. Consistency is the key. I said in the beginning, 50% of new moms are not receiving the mental health that they need. What you need to realize is that you need professional help, okay? I needed professional help. What does that mean? What does that look like? They are the experts. There's doulas, there's midwives, therapists, naturopaths, acupuncturists, lactation consultants, coaches or mentor. Figure out what is your biggest problem right now. What are you struggling the most? If you're struggling with breastfeeding, now is the time to call a lactation consultant. If you're not getting enough nutrition or something's wrong with your blood levels, you're going to go to a naturopath or an OBGYN. If you need somebody to walk you through hand in hand and show you the direction that you need to go to, you're going to hire a coach or a mentor to walk you through and show you the path. You're going to find an experienced mom who can guide you through this so that you can avoid all the hardships that we have gone through. You need this because you need to know that you are loved and supported. You deserve to have a strong emotional support system. No support leads you to feeling unloved, alone, and isolated and in bad health. You need to know that you are not alone. You do not have to do this alone. Okay? You need to be able to express your feelings. You need to realize that having low Low, inconsistent support, education, connection can lead to postpartum depression and anxiety. So to avoid the mistakes and hardships that I went through, that a lot of new moms go through, you need to get your support. It's going to empower you, and you're going to feel super, super successful. We talked about how to master your first year of motherhood and feel empowered. We talked about why caring for yourself is actually caring for your family and your relationship and what keeps you sane. How to get the support and guidance that you want and need. How to feel more calm, confident, and relaxed. And how your mindset affects your outcome of your pregnancy, labor, delivery, and postpartum journey. And how to do all this without feeling guilty or burnt out. I really hope that you realize that the biggest 4 keys that you can absolutely use and why you're struggling right now, I just gave you the blueprint for how you can fix it. You need to connect to yourself and your baby. You need to educate yourself on all things motherhood. Change your mindset about what's going on and get the support that you need. So what are you going to do with all this information you received today? Are you going to stay where you're at, anxious, depressed, overwhelmed, stressed out, feeling lonely, unsupported? Are you going to try to piece these things together on your own and try to get somewhere? Are you going to be in the same place you are right now, a year from now, even a month from now, or 3 months from now? What is that going to cost you? What is that going to cost your mental health to be in the same exact place you are right now? Are you going to do, like Einstein says, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result? Or are you going to get personalized guidance and support to implement these 4 keys and quickly master your first year of motherhood? Like I said, we are just scratching the surface. Like an iceberg, we just touched the surface. There's so much more under the water that we can go through. And I can help you. If you go to the unfamiliarmom.com/book right now, you can book your call with me. Here's how it works. Because you stayed until the end, my team and I have set aside some time in the next 2 to 3 days to speak with you one-on-one for free. It doesn't cost you anything, about how you can apply this framework to your unique situation today. So go to the unfamiliarmom.com/book and stop suffering today. Start healing today. Get that one-on-one support that you need to guide you in the right direction, to go from where you are right now to where you want to be. Here's how it works. You can click the orange button below or go to the unfamiliarmom.com. This will take you to our calendar where you can select a time slot. I will call you at your scheduled time. On this call, I will work with you to create your action plan, gain the tools and resources you need to heal from your depression and anxiety, to let go of the guilt, to gain more energy, to develop your own wisdom, prepare you for what's to come, and ultimately thrive in your new role with confidence. Right now, go to the unfamiliarmom.com/book and start healing today. Take an action step like we talked about today. Take these 4 steps and learn how to implement them into your life today. This call is for only you that are ready and willing to make a change. It is for the mom who values getting guidance, support, and honest feedback and wants to be the best version of herself for her child, who wants to increase their confidence, preparedness, and trust in themselves. It's for you if you are motivated to develop the skills necessary to make your life easier, less complex, more enjoyable, more magical. If this is you, then don't wait. Book your session right now, theunfamiliarmom.com/book, or click the orange button. Stop waiting. Stop doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. This will work for you. This is what we do all day, every day. I'm doing this for you because I know that transitioning into motherhood can be really hard and confusing at times. And I know that you may want some personalized support with your unique situation today. And I know you want to transform from where you are right now, which is alone and miserable and unhappy in your circumstances. That's why you're listening to this right now. And I can transform you from where you are to where you want to be. And I love helping you eliminate this fear, this burnout, and creating the confidence and freedom. I have an easy step-by-step formula that can take you to where you want to go. You just have to click the button below, theunfamiliarmom.com/book. If we decide to work together long-term, and this call is awesome, you'll get the exact tools and resources, full-on support and accountability that I give all my clients to master their first year of motherhood and live the life they really want. It's comprehensive. I personally guide you step-by-step, one-on-one, so you are never alone. I work with you to narrow down what is not serving your highest good and help you to overcome these struggles. And then I support and empower you to create the life that you really want. This is a no-brainer, guys. theunfamiliarmom.com/book. Book your call right now. These spots are limited. I only have a few spots left. It's only over the next couple of days. You have 3 days. What are you waiting for? Book your call right now. If you are so upset with your circumstances and you have tried everything and you feel so burnt out and overloaded and you don't know where to turn and you're spinning in circles, I can help you. You just have to book your call right now, and we'll talk about what you're going through and where I can take you and how you can overcome your obstacles so that you can live a calm and peaceful and happy and magical life as a new mom. You can feel like yourself again today. You don't have to wait any longer. Thank you all so much for being on the line with me. I'm so grateful that you spent all this time with me, and I look forward to talking to every single one of you right now. Remember, the spots are limited. Don't wait. Book your call right now. Have a great day, ladies. Thank you so much.